the opening face-off to see who gets first possession in this one. 15 minutes to go in the first quarter of play, and we'll see how this thing gets started. And this one's going to bounce off towards the left, and it's going to be picked up Maryland ball as they will start with possession here in this one. Maryland in the black, William & Mary, the home team, in the white. Also for this Maryland team, in goal, pretty good in goal so far this year. Emily Sterling, someone to look out for in this game.
Yeah, Emily Sterling's been on fire as well. Lights out in the cage for the past couple of years for the Terps, and especially this year. So we almost look to see the first shot on cage there. William & Mary looking to play a little bit of a zone defense here.
Passing on the perimeter. Maryland looking to find a way in as we get through the end of the first minute of play here. Good passing, trying to set something up here at the beginning of this one. Right down the middle, streaking forwards, and a shot and a nice save as this one bounces around and is picked up by William & Mary.
That was a pretty long possession there for the Terps. Something to note as well, on your screen you'll see the little yellow box down there. That's going to be your shot clock that you can kind of follow along with, and for that one, William & Mary was able to take a good bit of time off of that shot clock opportunity for Maryland's offense, which really made them look for the right opportunity at cage.
William & Mary also good in goal with junior goalkeeper Elise Palmer. A .451 save percentage so far this season. She's allowed 27 goals in the last 2 games, so she's going to look to shore up defensively in this one. More passing here as William & Mary try and get an edge. Just trying to establish the offense here and see if either team can really get their pace of play going. As that pass is going to go into the corner. Still looking for a way to find this one. Coming around, the scoop shot. That one's going to go in. First goal of the day as William & Mary gets on the board first, and it's 1-0.
That was a nice one-on-one take there back from Kizanga, right from down low. And again, 20 seconds left on the shot clock, just kind of taking their time with their first offensive possession to really see what the right opportunity is going to be. She just sees a little bit of space, a bit of a rocker step down there on the doorstep, and sees that space coming around the top side of her defender. Recognizes that there's no slides either, which allows her to kind of take that quick shot, and ends up beating Sterling low to low. A great shot there.
That's Zanga, who that would be her 9th point of the season. That would be her 6th goal as well. And gets things started for this Tribe team, and now they're up 1-0, looking to protect at home. They're 3-0 at home this season, coming off of that victory over East Carolina, so they'll look to continue that here in this one. So the Terps will look to move forward here and try and answer back, down 1-0 after the first couple of minutes have passed here in this first quarter of play.
Down 1-0, but an important piece to note is that draw is such an important aspect of the game. Both draws won so far by Maryland.
And that's a quick shot right in front, and that's going to go in. Talking about quick, Maryland bites back here in the first couple of minutes of quarter number 1, and they tie things up at 1 apiece.
Really fast opportunity there right off of the draw. What I love about this play is eyes are up, and you see those 2 sliding defenders coming from the middle. That pass doesn't necessarily happen unless that attacker's eyes are wide open and kind of just like up on what's going on in the middle of the field, making sure that she can see wherever her teammates are cutting. Maybe a back door, maybe it's a kind of cut flashing towards her. On that particular case, it was a little bit more of a back door. Just a perfectly placed feed there.
And also a good job to fight back here. You know, you go down, you're on the road 1-0 early. And, Maryland obviously ranked number 9 in the nation coming into this one. So they expect to have the advantage largely here in this matchup today. and especially all time. The Terps have a 29-6 all-time record against the Tribe, and they've won 22 in a row, stretching back to 1989. So they're going to want to continue that streak here.
It's an impressive stat there, impressive win streak for the Terps. Right there looks to be a little bit of an errant pass by the Tribe. Went out of bounds along the end line, so we're going to see a look at Maryland's clear.
And, we talked a little bit about Kathy Reese and sort of the impact that she's had on this Maryland program. Over 300 career wins as a head coach. She's led the Terps to 5 national championships, 12 Final Fours, 22 conference championships. I mean, they have been all over the place with her, and they've never lost to this Tribe team in that span. So, I mean, that's some dominance coming from the sidelines for Maryland. And here's a quick shot out in front again, and it looks like that one made it through. So twice now, Maryland has gotten in close and taken their shots, and they've taken the lead here 2-1.
That was Hannah Lubecker doing what she does best, just getting a little bit of a step on her defender, seeing the open space right there towards the middle of the 8, and she's got a great shot. So being able to put that to that opposite stick side of Palmer's kind of stance there, that's a great shot to place and really difficult for Palmer to kind of save. She's unsure as she's coming across whether she's going to shoot it to a top corner or a low corner, but those off-hip saves are really difficult to make. So a nice veteran shot there by Hannah Lubecker.
And there's a few different options on the attack that Palmer is going to have to guard against here as we go over into this game. Talking about Lubecker, 9 goals. That makes it 10. Corey Edmondson as well has 9 goals on the season. Libby May's got 8. Eloise Clevenger has 7. So they have many different options that they can go to in the goal scoring category.
Absolutely. And Eloise Clevenger, she's going to be the one who gets rewarded this free position opportunity here off of a cross check.
So a chance to extend for Maryland up 2-1. And the pass off, the lefty swing, and that one gets through. Another goal from Maryland as they go up 3-1 quickly here in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter.
Clevenger to Lubecker, 2 of the names you just mentioned as you were kind of running through some stats there, John, and really nice unselfish play there. Off of that free position, you see most players would kind of run that in or take a big shot and look for the shot opportunity themselves. But Clevenger, just knowing her teammates so well, recognizes that Lubecker is right there to the hash next to her, wide open. You see some smiles in the celebrations there. And that was just a really nice unselfish play by the Terps.
So a 3-1 lead for Maryland now. As on the road here, they're going to look to extend, and we'll see who can come away with possession after this face-off. And the William & Mary defense is really the focal point of the team, or has been so far on the year. First in the CAA in forced turnovers, in saves, and in ground balls per game. And they're actually ranked 7th nationally in ground balls. So, sort of well-positioned to take on this Maryland team that has been so good on the attack this year. .48 to go here in this first quarter of play. And the Terps will rush forward and try and extend and build upon their 3-1 lead here early.
Looks as if we're taking a look at our first player up opportunity here for Maryland. Only 6 defenders out there. There was a green card issued in the ride there. That's a new rule as of the 2024 women's lacrosse season. Green cards are a 1-minute woman up penalty, and they happen within the ride. So getting a look at a little bit more of that player up offense here from Maryland.
Good quick passing, swerving through the defense, and that one skips away, and that'll roll back into the corner. So this will be a good chance to see how Maryland plays with 1 woman up, and we'll see if they can cash in on the opportunity here. So far, it's featured some good quick passing, trying to find the open. Back in, and then that one's going to miss as well and go back. So the opportunity stifled there.
Yeah, an uncharacteristic turnover there for the Terps, and it's going to head right back their way on the ride.
And they get a quick one back, and the up-close shot works its way in. So just reeling off of the turnover, they're able to get it back and then immediately cash in on a score, and it's 4-1 Maryland.
Eloise Clevenger is the one who finishes this play off, but again, you can see how quickly the game can turn right off of the turnover there. The ball gets right out of the goalie's stick, right out of Palmer's stick, and on that immediate clear, Maryland is able to force the ball into a turnover and run down the other way into an unsettled defense. So Hannah Lubecker on the turnover there in the midfield. She's already got 2 goals as well, and she's having a great start to this game so far.
Yeah, Lubecker in the exact right spot to pick that one off, and then the great pass forward to get it to Clevenger. And that's an easy one for Clevenger, as we've talked about how good she's been this year. So 4-1 is the score. Maryland out in front, just under 9:20 to go in the first quarter of play. And it's going to be William and Mary coming away with possession on this one. A rare opportunity in possession so far. It seems like it's been all Maryland's ball this game.
You can tell William and Mary is looking to kind of just set up either a play or get into the swing of their offense. As you mentioned, they haven't seen the ball on their end in a little bit here in this first quarter.
And how do you adjust as we get some quick passes here as that gets fired through into the net for a nice return score? So that'll make it 4-2 as the Tribe get back on the board, and they'll cut the deficit in half here with 8:30 to go in quarter number 1.
That would be Paige Gilbert. We mentioned her in the beginning of the broadcast, but she had a great day against ECU their last time out. And off of that cut, she's able to kind of just quickly finish to that bottom opposite corner. It's a really smart shot placement there. Coming full steam ahead on her cut and kind of catching there. If she goes high to high with her shot, that might be an easy save for Sterling. But the way that she goes high to low to finish it to the bottom corner, that's an almost impossible save to make. So a nice play there by Paige Gilbert, who is coming off of a hot game.
So that's their second goal of the game. And, you know, here with about 7.5 minutes in at the start of the first quarter, you know, we mentioned about how the possession was mostly all Maryland after that first goal that William and Mary scored. Does that change, if at all, the game plan heading into the day? You know, when you don't have that many attack opportunities and then all of a sudden you're down by 3 like they just were?
I think there's definitely some more urgency in terms of, you know, getting into their plays a little bit sooner, but you also don't want to be too urgent where you make uncharacteristic mistakes, right? So I think they're actually doing a great job at recognizing, hey, we're only down by 2. You know, we still have plenty of game left to play. This can go either way. So let's just take it one play at a time. And they're doing it again here, right? They're trying to get everybody a touch and see where the right holes are to attack the defense.
Yeah, that's going to be a good save as well on the try there. So Maryland stifles that opportunity, and now they'll take the ball across. .7:45 to go in quarter number 1 as the Terps push forward. Racing around a pass towards the middle, and the shot goes in. An immediate answer by Maryland after William and Mary comes up with their second of the day. Maryland comes back, pushes one through, and it's going to be 5-2.
That one goes to Libby May, another name we've mentioned and another name you've probably seen a lot on the highlight reels. Nice little just kind of slip play there. You see she's adjacent to the ball and she recognizes that player next to her is driving to kind of draw that slide and draw that defender, and that's exactly what she does. and the awareness by Libby May to recognize that slide and realize that she's the one who's actually going to be open and just kind of cut herself right into the middle. That's a great play there by the Terps.
So Maryland has scored 5 here to start things out in this first quarter of play. And, something to sort of take note of is the players that are making up the main scoring here for this Maryland team. That there's a lot of experience, right? Libby May, graduate student. Hannah Lubecker, also graduate. Eloise Clevenger is a senior on this team. How much does that experience really lend itself to success and team chemistry?
Definitely adds to chemistry, right? You have plenty of fall ball games and fall ball days to play together. You have plenty of seasons that you're playing together, plenty of things that you've gone through as not only teammates, but as friends too, right? So I think it's important, that chemistry, and also understanding that, having that experience also gives them experience in big game moments, gives them experience of wins, but also losses too, and understanding what they can take from that and show that to the younger players and kind of lead by example.
It sort of adds to the allure of the entire program with the experience on the field and off, as that's a quick, short opportunity that goes wide of the net. So Maryland's still trying to find their way in here. Shot clock at 40 in this 5-2 game. From behind the net, right in front, the bounce, and that's going to be stopped.
Elise Palmer has a couple nice saves here early in this game. That's important for a goalie to make sure that they can see the ball early in the game. And for goalies like Emily Sterling and Elise Palmer here in this game, that just kind of gets their groove going. And I think we've started to see that on both ends so far.
Yeah, at the very least, right, you're in goal. You want to see some shots to keep yourself a little warm. As there's a long pass out in front to sort of advance things, but that one's going to go wide and errant and roll into the corner. So the Tribe trying to chase it down, and they do maintain possession, as that was Paige Gilbert falling down in the corner. Now this pass out in front, and a good save as that's deflected out towards the left of the net.
Yeah, it was a pretty hustle play there by Paige Gilbert over on the sideline. Really smart to box out the defender behind her first and just try to keep herself in bounds, make sure that the ball is still in front of her, and then kind of taking a peek around while she boxed out her defender, and noticed she had a teammate there to help, so flicking it backwards before the ball went out of bounds. Really liked that play.
Good also to see about your primary goal scorer, right, that they can have impacts on the field other than just putting the ball through.
Absolutely.
25 seconds now as they look for a good shot here. Moving left down the center. A pass. Tough contact out in front.
We're going to see our first yellow card of the contest. Okay. Look to be a bit of a cross-check, an extension of the arms here, as you see, catching the ball inside. Bit of an extension there as she kind of looks to make some contact on the catch. We get a free position opportunity here.
So we'll see if they can cash in on the free position shot. Down by 3. This would be a good chance to get one through. A pass out back to the left, and they'll reset a bit.
Smart play there to utilize the full time on the shot clock. And yet again, another nice save there by Emily Sterling. We might be seeing another call here.
I think so. They got up close on a shot there, and then play stopped shortly. And it will be Maryland's possession as they attempt to move forward here.
Referees did stop the clock there, so it makes me wonder. Again, we weren't able to see. That makes me wonder if there was another card issued. And yes, as we pan across, there are 2 players sitting in the chairs at the half field line. So we do have a yellow card on either end. Must have been a dangerous follow through on that last shot opportunity for William & Mary. So we're seeing some 6-on-6 here.
All right, it all evens out. As this one gets lost, trying to be scooped up, and it looks like the Tribe will come away with it. So a turnover here as William and Mary will now streak across down the center of the field, moving to the opposite end to pass over the middle. And then now to the opposite side. So the Tribe will get another shot, a spin near the net. That one bounces off, might have been the post. As now Maryland will take possession.
Yeah, I think that might have been some help from the pipe there. It's a good take.
So now the Terps will go on the attack. 3:35 to go in quarter number 1. Dodging up close. The throw towards the net, and that's going to miss and go behind. Pass up close, trying to get the spin off. Now a shove to keep her out of the center, and then more passing towards the far side. Dodging forward and a spin, and then a flick behind the cage. .30 seconds to go on the clock now. 2:50 overall, and the first quarter is left. There's a shot towards the net, and it's going to bounce in. Good movement back around from behind the net to come out in front. And then the shot forward makes it 6-2 Maryland.
A great take here. Again, just some topside speed. And this one's going to be Haley Russo. She's been doing a great job at kind of penetrating the defense and seeing what she can get out of some of these driving opportunities. She's taken a few shots here so far today. That one ends up going. She's got some speed on the top side. And then she's able to beat Palmer low with the shot.
That's what Maryland has done well so far in this one, is they've been able to get close to the net, and they've been putting in some high-velocity shots through and getting it past Palmer.
They definitely seem to have a good pace to their offense. Doesn't seem like anybody's standing or watching. There's a lot of dodging happening, and I will say William & Mary's defense is doing a great job at kind of stopping those initial dodges. It's when it gets down to the end of the shot clock where you see Maryland kind of finally breaking through.
So now they will try again and attempt once more to extend this 6-2. And, you're right about that, Kylie. The pace is really good for this Terps team. Everyone's moving. The urgency, sort of seems there, but it's a controlled urgency. It's not panicked, of course. They're up by 4, and, they really know what they want to do, and they get this shot up front and an easy assist forward, as that's another goal for Maryland. It's 7-2.
Like you said, nice, easy goal there. Almost looks too easy. Just a pretty cut right from the middle, recognizing that her defender's ponytail kind of turned. That's the phrase we use when you see the back of your defender's head. It means it's time to cut. And that one was Shaylin Ahern. You see up here, she's kind of in a mixture of players, and the defender just gets lost there. She's able to slip right through. And again, another really pretty shot where it's not necessarily those fun top corner shots, but it's a pretty top to bottom and really difficult to save.
So that's going to lead to a timeout here, as it's 7-2 is the score in the first quarter. And these teams will talk things over. And we're back out of the timeout here towards the end of the first quarter of play. 7-2 is the score. The Terps are out in front, the 9th-ranked Maryland team on the road here in Williamsburg, Virginia. John Kosoban alongside Kylie Ohlmiller. And there's 2:10 on the clock here at the end of the first quarter of play. Maryland just scored their 7th goal of the day. And it was Shaylin Ahern who was able to put that one through the back of the net. And good to see from her as well, the graduate student. That's another one with experience on this team. Leads the squad with 25 draw controls on the year, but contributes with a goal there to make it 7-2.
We're going to see another green card here. This is our second green card of the contest so far. Green card will issue Maryland a 1-minute woman up opportunity here as they look to clear the ball over their restraining line once the whistle blows.
So they'll have the advantage for about a minute here with 2 in total to go in the first quarter. Up by 5, and we'll see how much time they take here to set up a good shot. And everyone's getting a piece of this possession as the ball gets passed around. In and then back out, the pass towards the center, and that strike goes right through. Another one for Maryland. That's their 8th goal of the day. And it's 8-2 with the Terps are out in front. Big.
Terps are out in front big, that's for sure. And this is a big shot here. See, she just kind of sees a little bit of space. She's a step inside the 8 when she releases that ball. That one's Corey Edmondson. We've talked about her a little bit here on the broadcast as well, but just kind of able to see that opening off of the quick passing, the quick ball movement. That's how you're going to beat a zone, and it's also how you're going to beat the woman up opportunity, and Maryland's done a nice job of that so far. And a great shot there, a rocket to the top corner by Corey Edmondson.
And they've certainly taken advantage of their opportunities so far in this game. Corey Edmondson, like you said, we mentioned her earlier in the broadcast, a sophomore that's contributing to the goal scoring here today. As now this one's going to be picked up once again by Maryland, and we'll see what they can do with the ball as they try and get it over half field here. Long pass down the center. And now the near side. Working from the corner and then behind the net. 1:10 is on the clock here remaining in the first quarter of play. The spin. Moving left and then the handoff. Under a minute to go now in the first quarter. That one through to the net and it stopped. Good stop and goal by Elise Palmer.
Seemed like Elise Palmer saw that one coming all the way through. She really read it well, saw that it was going low. See if William & Mary is able to get a nice clear, and it's been a while since we've seen them on their offensive end, so we'll see if they look to push transition or if they settle things down and kind of get into their offense a bit.
Actually, it looked like in goal that it was Maren Wilhelm, number 35, who also gets out there in most of these games, so she's out there for the time being at least, as this one gets picked up by Maryland in the final 14 seconds of the first quarter. They're going to see if they can squeak one past in the final 8 seconds now. 8-2 is the score. That one gets away, and it's going to be rolled aside and then flicked in the air, where it's going to be scooped up as time expires here at the end of the first quarter. So 8-2 is the score. Maryland out in front by 6. And they've certainly done a good job to get themselves the advantage early in this one. And, we've seen Maryland take down 2 top 10 teams, especially with their win over Denver a week ago. But they also took down Syracuse earlier in the season, Kyle.
Yes, this is a Maryland team that, again, is coached by, Kathy Reese and her coaching staff of mostly Maryland Terps. In their alma maters with, Alex Ostholman, Nadine Hadnaggy, Caitlin Phipps, all on staff alongside Lori Kennis. And they know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to be around a culture that wins. And they also know what it takes to, kind of bring their best in those big games, whether it's February or whether it's May or anywhere in between. Maryland usually is able to kind of bring a really competitive game to no matter what their opponent is ranked, So it's exciting to see them kind of take down a couple different teams and move the rankings about, and that's what's exciting, especially about women's lacrosse so far this season.
And so we'll start off the second quarter here. 8-2 is the score. Maryland out in front, and they start with possession on the attack here to start out this second quarter of play. Movement outside from behind the net and then passing around the perimeter. As the Terps look to expand upon their 6-goal lead. That one's going to skip away. Picked up behind the net by William and Mary. And so it is Maren Wilhelm who remains in goal back there for this Tribe team. Now, what do you think about the early switch in the first quarter, Kylie, at the end of the first quarter that we noticed with Wilhelm coming in for Palmer?
I think it's impressive when you have, two goalies that are able to step in and play against a number 9 ranked team. And that's the great part about the goalie position at the Division I level, right? You most of the time have goalkeepers on your sideline who can do exactly what your starters are doing. And that's the fun part of the competition of the position at this level.
Quick passing here as they attempt to mount an offensive near the goal, but it's going to be scooped up. And yeah, it's not just a conventional starter backup dynamic. Lise Palmer about 230 minutes out there so far this season, and Wilhelm about 130 as well for her. So they both get good time. As that one is going to skip through, and it gets into the back of the net. Another score, the first one of the second quarter of play for Maryland, and it's 9-2.
Goal scored by Corey Edmondson.
Looked as if that one was Corey Edmondson again. We'll get another look at it here. And again, just kind of bringing her stick across her body into that kind of offside position. Instead of switching hands, she's able to just release it from that opposite shoulder. And it kind of catches Wilhelm off guard there. She's able to place it really nicely as she's coming full head of steam downfield.
So a 9-2 score now as it's a 7-goal lead for Maryland. And yeah, the performance has been pretty similar between Palmer and Wilhelm so far this year. Palmer, as mentioned, the .451 save percentage heading into the game today. Wilhelm, .431. So similar results there for her. And we'll see how long she will stay in there against this Maryland team, who are now up by 7 goals. And here in the first couple of minutes of the second quarter with possession again, we'll look to improve on that. But here it'll be a turnover as William and Mary take over.
We've seen a few of those kind of turnovers from both teams here so far today that are kind of just errant passes that are either too high or too low and just disconnect on their way down through X and kind of pop out the end line. We've seen it on both ends there, so I'm sure that'll be something that both coaching staffs will look to sharpen up, especially as you go into halftime, something to note.
More passing to move forward as the attack quickens up for William and Mary. Down by 7 on their home turf. They're 3-0 at home this season. Yeah, that's a trend that they love. They keep going, but right now in a hole. And as that pass gets away a little bit, but is scooped up. 11:50 to go here in quarter number 2. Looking to pass out from behind the net, and they do get it off.
10 seconds left on the shot clock here. William and Mary has to get a shot off quick.
And the defense is tight as that one gets away. And we might have a call here.
See a replay here. Sliding defender. Oh, she might have gotten called with a yellow card there for a stick check to the head.
So we'll see the free position shot here, a pass off, lost it, and it's going to be scooped up in front of the net. So another good defensive stand by Maryland as they will take over.
See Megan Ball here, transfer from Rutgers, coming from another Big Ten school over to Maryland this year. She'll be a game changer and has been a game changer in years past at Rutgers and definitely in bigger games for Maryland so far this year. She's a player that can play really well on the draw circle as well as that one-on-one and team defense. She's really locked in on all sides of the ball.
Yeah, she leads the team in ground balls, and she's also top 3 in the team in draw control. So she lends her help to a few different parts of the way that this team moves. A quick turnaround, and the shot upper right-hand corner goes in. Out from behind the net, and then in front for the quick shot. And that's going to make it 10-2 as Maryland extends their lead.
Haley Russo with another one. See that dip and dunk, that high fake to the low fake, and then bringing her stick back up high. Really moving the goalie well on that possession there. Just a little bit of miscommunication between defenders behind the cage that allowed her to be so wide open right there on the crease. But a nice job there by Russo to kind of take her time and recognize those are big moments when it's one-on-none with the goalie. You have to make sure that you move the goalie before you put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, it even seems like, maybe using a bit to her advantage. How much does this play into things? Sometimes using the defenders as almost visual screens, right? To set yourself up for a nice shot up close.
Absolutely. Any chance you get to kind of add some deception to your shots, and whether that be kind of shooting around a player or utilizing kind of just someone who may be somewhat running through on a slide or kind of running across the crease or wherever it might be, that just makes the goalie's vision a little bit more difficult and kind of disrupts that for a bit. That deception piece is huge when it comes to shooting and also scoring.
Yeah, if you can exploit that in the right ways, that can be an important part of your arsenal on the attack here, as this one is going to get away and it goes out the back. So it's going to stay with William and Mary. Down by 8 now on their home field. And with just under 10 minutes to go here in quarter number 2. A stop, a spin near the net. That one is going to be saved. Sterling holds strong in the net. And it remains 10-2.
There's Ellie Shea on that drive, and a good job there to kind of go quickly off the end line, off of that kind of missed shot there. Just kind of attack and take those one-on-one opportunities, but a better save there by Sterling to keep the ball out of the net.
10-2 is the score. Maryland looking to expand. 9:15 to go here in the second quarter of play. And a pass towards the center, now breaking, middle, and then kicking out to the left. Now a pass behind the cage. More passing, looking for an open. About 35 seconds to go on the shot clock here. And this one's lost, and they'll have to reset for a second. 8:40 to go in total here in the first half. A drive, this one's knocked away. It's loose. And it looks like we've got a whistle here.
The initial drive, it was a nice back check by Jalen Locke to originally dislodge the ball from Lubecker's stick. She's going to be issued a free position here.
Lubecker ready to take this. 10-2 is the score, up by 8, charging forward. That one goes through, and it hits the back of the net. Hannah Lubecker once again gets one past the goalkeeper, and it's 11-2 Maryland.
Off this line here, you see Lubecker, which she does a nice job of. She's a right-handed player on this free position. And what she does is instead of running straight at the cage, she actually runs on an angle towards the left side of her body, which kind of frees her right hand up a little bit more from the defender who's on her right side, whose job is merely just to get a stick on her shot, right? That's the defender's job. So it was a really nice job there by Lubecker to kind of stray away from that on her run in towards the cage and free up her stick a little bit more for that shot.
I like the variety as well that we see on the free position opportunities. Sometimes you'll see them pass back out and sort of set up a different play, or maybe a quick pass to set up a quick shot, and then other times, like there, they'll rush straight forward and take it themselves. And I feel like all all the different ways that you can play it certainly set up to open up different opportunities as the game goes along.
Absolutely. And so many people who might not know lacrosse too much will kind of imply that it's similar to a free throw in basketball, as that's a really nice shot there. But William and Mary to add another.
Quick goal, 11-3.
Scored by Paige Gilbert.
And guess who? Paige Gilbert.
Yep. Usual suspect. So that's going to cut a little bit into the lead here, as that makes it an 11-3 game. So William and Mary able to add one of their own with about 8:10 to go in the first half. Okay, so some might compare it to the free throw in basketball. What do you say about that, Kyle?
Yeah, I was going on and on about that, but I wasn't expecting her to take that shot. That was really nice from far out by Paige Gilbert. Really well placed too, off hip. But yeah, some may compare a free position opportunity to a free throw, but because of those opportunities, like you mentioned, because of those different options that you have off of a free position, you don't necessarily have that in a free throw in basketball, right? So I think it's a really important aspect of the game. It obviously can decide games sometimes, but it is also something that a lot of these higher level teams and these top 10 teams know how to utilize those options in different moments within the game.
Certainly used it there on the rush forward for the shot, and then William and Mary able to answer just a few seconds later. So 11-3 is the score, about 7:40 to go in the second quarter of play. Pass out behind the net and then a spin to get out in front. And try to get that shot over and up, but it missed high. Back with the ball, and then a quick one through. Did it get past? And it looks like it did. So an immediate assist right over the top of the net, and then the quick shot down. And that's going to make it 12-3 as Maryland continues to extend their lead.
I believe that one was Shaylin Ahern again. She's so sneaky off the cut, just recognizes the right time to cut behind her defender, and she's really barely open there, but a beautiful feed by Maisie Clevenger to just kind of pass that right over the goal, and also right as a perfect kind of lead pass there. If that pass is any tighter to Ahern's face, then that might be an interception. But the way that she placed it a little bit farther in front of her was how they were able to connect for a pretty goal.
Yeah, that was a fantastic assist by Maisie Clevenger, who, sort of against her momentum, right, was able to sort of off one foot and get that pass off and put it in the perfect spot. So this one will stick with possession for Maryland as they attempt to extend their 12-3 lead. Pretty big one here with about 7:15 to go in the second quarter of play. Maryland out in front by 9 as this one will get turned over, and it'll go to William and Mary.
A pretty caused turnover there for Jalen Locke. She's had a couple of really nice checks so far in this game. Maryland's going to take it back the other way, though.
Streaking down and now dumping this one off. It's going to be scrambled for. Can William and Mary come away with it? They do. Chasing it down into the corner again. And instead, it'll be Maryland keeping it on the attack. And, something to note for Maryland in their win over Denver, ranked number 10. It was a 10-8 victory. They actually turned the ball over 20 times, and it was something that maybe is to keep an eye on for them as the season goes around. But I think it's an interesting matchup when you look at this William and Mary team that's first in the CAA in forced turnovers as well. So that's an area that maybe they could exploit as this one goes forward. And this one's going to be scooped up and taken the other way after the fall down on the other side. Down towards the center, and it's lost, but a whistle.
Claire Dodo for William & Mary, running the ball all the way down the field. She's one of their defenders. Nice job to get the ball quickly cleared and to the other side, draw the foul, be able to kind of get her offense an opportunity here.
And now out of the free position, they will try and set something up. About 5.5 to go here in the second quarter as Maryland will scoop this one up towards the corner. As we take a look at the contact there. So they'll have another free possession. 5:20 to go in the second quarter of play. A pass to the right, now over top. Trying to bend around the corner. And now from back, behind the net. Spin. And a kick out towards the top. That one's going to roll away towards the center of the field. Nice recovery. And now a drive on the near side going towards the center. That's Ainsley Huzenga, number 27 in the white, who had the ball for a while as this one gets away, and it'll be Maryland once again taking over.
Maryland's defense, one-on-one, on ball, has been really solid all game so far.
And they've certainly shown up where it counts and have been able to keep William & Mary at bay, especially after scoring their own goals and keeping a big deficit to this point. 9 goals is the difference between the two teams, as Maryland looks to make it 10, perhaps on this possession. 12-3 is the score. Almost 4 minutes to go here at the end of the second quarter. A juke left, and then that one goes through and hits the back of the net, and they do make it a 10-goal game. It'll be 13-3, Maryland out in front.
Goal scored by
Maggie Wiseman on the drive, and the score, a quick little right to left split dodge. What I love about that finish there, she doesn't necessarily wait too long to release her shot. Right off of the drive, right off of the switch of her hands, she recognizes she has a step on her defender. And before any other defenders are able to kind of crash or get a stick on her shot, she is able to release that shot pretty quickly for a score.
So the scoring continues for the Terps as they're up by 10 now, with about 3:20 to go at the end of the first half. We'll see who comes up with this one in a 10-goal game. Chasing for it on the right side, and it's going to be picked up by William & Mary. Good effort there. To come away with the ball, and they will move on the attack with less than 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. That was Kate Draddy who was able to flag that one down and bring it across for her team. Now a pass near side. Spinning around and picking it back up. Draddy again has it at the top, kicks to her right. And now a sling towards the net. That's not going to go. It's a nice save and goal. Once again, it's Emily Sterling stepping up for this Maryland team, as now we've got a breakaway on the other end. Fast pace. That pass is going to go wide and high.
Good job by the William & Mary defense there to kind of slide quickly, stop the break a little bit, and just add a little bit of pressure at the top to force that turnover on the pass. But Maryland's ride has just been so impressive here today. Turnover after turnover in the midfield.
Another quick one towards the center of the net, and that one goes through. Once again on the transition, racing forward. A good shot up close to get to the back of the net. And that's going to continue the double-digit deficit. And it's going to be 14-3 in favor of Maryland here towards the end of the second quarter.
Eloise Clevenger, we've seen that fake and finish from her already today, but definitely so far in her career. She's so good at finishing right there on the crease. And the nice pass there by Lauren LaPointe. She's a freshman coming out of that kind of scrum in the midfield there. She had her head up and was able to push transition and see Clevenger right on the doorstep.
And able to sneak in at least one more goal here before the end of the second quarter of play. And that was real good stick manipulation as well to get around in goal there for the score. 14-3, 11-goal game. And there's 35 seconds to go in the second quarter of play. This one's going to be scooped up by Maryland as they race forward in the final 30 seconds. Passing into the corner and now coming from that way on the near side. And then flicking towards the top. More perimeter passing, 14 seconds to go. A stop and a spin. And then tried for the backhand towards the net, but that skipped past. Final couple of seconds here at the end of the second quarter of play. And a pass over the middle goes wide as it sounds like we've got the end of the first couple of quarters. 14-3 is the score. Maryland is out in front. And they've been in control pretty much the entire contest. But as we've documented, it's been a solid effort on both sides. And we will get things underway here in this third quarter. And see what William and Mary can do here at home to maybe try and make this deficit look a little bit easier. And this one batted around, and it's going to be Maryland taking possession here again to start this third quarter of play. Working from the corner, now behind the net. Moving back and forth, looking for a flick over the center, instead kicks out to her left. And now the ball's over the middle. A rush forward, trying to get around the defense. And the flick behind the net. Still looking to open up for more passing. Someone needs to find the lane here. And back out. Now moving. And still trying to find a way in. They've got their time, though, just starting to set up here at the start of the third quarter. It's important for Maryland, if they want to continue their scoring here in this one, to maybe get out to a strong start in the third quarter. Now here's a shot towards the net. That's going to go wide. And it's going to be chased down in the corner. Smart. 15 seconds on the shot clock. It's reset here, a little bit more time. 13:40 to go in the third quarter of play. Over the middle, quick one to the net, and saved.
First shot of the day seen by Josie Sinnell, and first save of the day for her as well.
She's off to a good start in net there as she takes care of the first opportunity to go her way. And she'll hope that the offense can maybe get a little bit of help here and try and bite into the deficit a bit. Down by 11, 14-3 is the score. A spin on the near side. And now a pass behind the net. Trying to find someone over the middle. And saved. And good defensive stand by Sterling in net, able to stop that one. So some good goalkeeping to start this third quarter. A couple of minutes into it as we're at 12:15 to go in this third quarter of play. Here's a rush from the corner on the far side, a flick towards the net, and it goes in. Another goal for Maryland. It's 15-3 as they extend their lead.
Goal scored by Chrissy Thompson.
A nicely placed shot and a great shot to take as that defender was kind of sliding to her stick side and kind of capitalizing off, you said, like off of the save on the other end and then being able to capitalize on the other end. That was Chrissy Thomas coming from Long Island, New York. She's a senior attacker for the Terps.
And they're able to continue their offensive attack here as the game has gone along. It's 15-3 now. It's a dozen-goal lead for Maryland. And looking to continue right where they left off in the first half. And, you know, it was important for them to maybe try and show that the momentum was still there on their side. You know, for William and Mary, you want to come out of halftime and try and score, at least hold them defensively for a couple of possessions and help yourselves get back in it a little bit. But for Maryland, really important for them to get back out in front once again.
Again, we mentioned Megan Ball earlier in the broadcast. She's the one holding the ball here. Transfer from Rutgers, coming over to Maryland and already making a great presence on the field. Ton of ground balls, ton of draw controls, and a great one-on-one defender.
So now with 10:45 to go in the third quarter, 15-3 still the score. As Maryland looks to put another one on the board, and we'll see if they can do that on this possession. Moving in and then stopping out, and now a whistle. Looks like it'll set up for a free position shot here. Rushing forward towards the net, and it got through. Right off the free position, that's another score for Maryland, and that makes it 16-3.
Maggie Wiseman for another score, using her left hand and kind of just utilizing some speed and some great stick protection to get underneath and cut towards the middle a bit across that crease, finishing to the opposite side. It's a pretty free position take there by Maggie Wiseman for her second of the day.
So it continues adding to the Maryland total here. As there is about 9.5 to go in quarter number 3. And Maryland continues to put numbers up on the scoreboard.
Had all the lights on, or what the deal was?
See Shaylin Ahern kind of pointing. They might have been a change at the draw center there for a second. They thought about it. But she's done a great job so far here today, but also in this season and in her career at Maryland. She's not only a draw taker that can really capitalize on those draw possessions and really create a lot of possessions for her team, but as we've seen so far here today, she can also be an incredible offensive threat.
Yeah, you know, those are the best players to have in the middle, right? They do well on the draw, and like Ahern does, and then able to score and show a little bit of versatility in her game that way. So we've certainly seen that from her in this one. So Maryland races down forward, 8:40 to go in the third quarter. 16-3 is the score. It's a big 13-goal lead for the Terps. 4-1 on the season. If they were to come away with the victory in this one, that would put them at 5 wins and 1 loss on the year. Their only loss so far this season in overtime, 13-12 against Florida.
That was an exciting game. Two of the nation's best going head-to-head.
And you know, you never want to put a number in that loss column if you're this team. But as we get a quick shot on the other end, and that's going to be a score for William and Mary. Straight down the gut, right up the middle, as that shot gets through to the back of the net. And it's going to make it 16-4 as the Tribe get one on the board.
Jalen Locke going end to end, just doing it herself, picking up the ball on the other side. She's made some really nice plays on the defensive end so far today. And this time she just decides to take the ball all the way herself, and it pays off. And you can see some smiles of relief throughout the tribe there. But just a nice overall individual play there that keeps the momentum a little bit, brings some energy back to the William & Mary team.
That's a good score. It's definitely a bit of an icebreaker, right, for an offense that has been struggling so far today, but able to get that one, like you said, a good individual effort. Sure, very quick, no messing around, straight down the middle and putting it in the back of the net. And, like you said, to see some smiles out there and hopefully loosen things up for them going forward.
Absolutely. Sometimes all it takes is one play.
As this one gets flipped up in the air and chased to the right side. 6:40 to go in the third quarter of play. 16-4 is the score. So it is a 12-goal lead, a dozen-goal lead for Maryland here in this one. But right now it's William & Mary with possession. And the Tribe will attempt to continue cutting further into that deficit. So this is an important possession for them. They want to be able to keep it and turn it into points. You want to avoid the turnover here, at least get yourself a good look. And try and keep that number on the scoreboard to get a little higher.
Definitely looking for the right opportunity here.
Kicked behind the net. 50 seconds on the shot clock, plenty of time. Almost lost on the far side for Gilbert. Rushing in. And now this one is going to get loose, and it looks like Maryland will come away with it. Long pass forward to try and clear. And now we've got another chance for the Terps, racing down through the center. That one's wide, and it's going to go all the way towards the back.
Good backup there. A nice hustle by both teams.
So that possession for William & Mary not going their way as they turn the ball over, and sets up for this Maryland try on the opposite end. Coming out from behind the net. The quick shot up close, and it's no good. Good save in goal. This one gets out towards the center and rolls away. And it's going to be William & Mary's ball. Long pass downfield to try and get an edge. And now into the corner. Tribe looking to cut into the 16-4 game. 12 goals separate the two teams. Now a rush from the far side, trying to get past the defender, and that shot goes in. Nice bounce shot to get it past Sterling, and that's going to put William & Mary on the board again, 16-5. Kate Dratty with the score.
Referees are going to call a no goal on that one due to a step in the crease after the shot, but a really nice take, as you mentioned. Just an unlucky finish after the shot.
So they do take it back, and that'll put William & Mary back to 4. As we get another whistle here.
This one will be a held check by Jalen Locke there. So we'll see a free position opportunity on that hanging hash. A little bit of a lower angle to the cage. We'll see if Maryland looks to take this or pass out of it.
Maryland goal. Goal scored by Maggie Weissman, assisted by Chrissy Thomas. 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Back here for the final 30 seconds of the third quarter of play. Sorry for a little bit of technical difficulties there. 17-4 is the score. Maryland down in front by 13 here in the final 15 seconds and looking to get another one through. But that's going to be a save up close. And a whistle as well. 7.7 on the clock here at the end of the third quarter. So the Tribe will try and get this pass off, and with 7 seconds left here in this third quarter, we'll see how much ground they can cover. Long pass down the middle. It's going to be intercepted, picked up by Maryland on the race with 1 second. And that one just gets tossed ahead. And we are through with the first 3 quarters of play. 17-4 is the score. Maryland out in front big by 13 goals here in Martin Family Stadium at Albert Daly Field in Williamsburg, Virginia. And we'll be back for the fourth quarter of play. Back for the start of the final quarter of regulation here in a game that has gone heavily in Maryland's favor. John Kosoban, Kylie Ohlmiller here with you for this broadcast today. The 4-1 Maryland Terrapins have a big lead here heading into the fourth quarter of play after 3 quarters against the 3-3 William and Mary Tribe here in Williamsburg, Virginia. 17-4 is the score, with Maryland down in front by 13, and we're underway here in the final quarter. William and Mary scored 3 in the first half and then added 1 in the third quarter as well. But have been down by this large deficit to Maryland's score, who are at 17 right now and now streaking across to the other end to try and add to that total.
Kennedy Major on defense there for Maryland, able to run the ball up the sideline. Very nice play there by the veteran defender, And Maryland looks to slow things down a little bit, as it is the fourth quarter and they do have that 13-goal lead. Maybe looking to work on some plays, look to get some different looks, maybe some things that they don't necessarily work on here, and see if they're able to capitalize on a few other opportunities, while also kind of taking some time to look through the full shot clock.
Yeah, you definitely will see teams start to hold the ball a lot more towards the end of their shot clock here with a big lead like this, as long as you can keep possession, which Maryland has done a really good job of doing here in this contest. And, it's something that they'll look to continue to do in this fourth quarter. But here defensively putting some pressure on is William and Mary, but it does stick with Maryland. A good job to get out of that and keep possession now towards behind the net.
Maryland actually a woman down here. You see that backer defense there from William and Mary.
And that shot goes through and in. So even down, able to get one past and into the net. And if that one does count, looks like it will. It's going to be 18-4 Maryland.
That was a very far out shot there. Quick little rollback, and again, being covered technically by 2 players is Victoria Hench. She's one of those names that you call often when it comes to the Maryland Terps. She had a big day last week in their last time out. She's able to rip the ball from anywhere, as you see there with that shot. A lot of power to that shot.
Yeah, a lot of power and a lot of range as well. And, it's a little bit different of a goal than we've seen from Maryland mostly today. A lot of their scoring opportunities have come up close, right? Quick passing to set up powerful shots near the net. But that one was from a long way out. And, it's tough to defend against when you haven't really seen too much of that in this game.
William and Mary starting with possession here at the draw circle.
A long pass to try and get things started for the Tribe. And that shot sort of comes from what you were just talking about, Kylie, even before that happened, trying to get a little bit more creative with things that maybe you hadn't really seen so far today. And that's one of them, right? A shot from deep out like that, where it kind of takes you by surprise. And then all of a sudden you've got another one on the board.
Absolutely. And I think, it was a great shot there. Another nice look inside. We're going to get a whistle that stops play, stops the clock. We're going to see a free position opportunity for William and Mary.
So we'll see what they can turn this into here. 18-4 is the score. A pass back out. Trying to fight, strong defense over the middle. Got loose, rolling now. Sterling heading for it. And he's going to be scooped up by Maryland.
Maryland was still a woman down on that possession. So we must have missed a yellow card. And they'll turn the ball over on their clear attempt there.
So now another chance for the Tribe. Rushing forward with the left. Can't get it through. That was Gilbert on the try. .45 to go in the fourth quarter of play. 18-4 is the score. 14 goals separate the two teams. The Maryland Terps ranked number 9 in the country and looking to secure their 5th win of the season. And that would drop William and Mary down to 3-4 if they were to take the loss in this one today. And they were a team that went 8-8 last year, so still trying to stay around the 500 mark, and they're going to want to work more on that in the win column to get above. As this gets knocked loose on the opposite end, and it's going to end up with William and Mary.
Seems a little slippery in that one spot over there. We've seen a few falls on dodges, right on that outside edge of the 8 there. William and Mary has been doing a nice job come the second half, getting the ball through their clears. That was something they struggled with in the first half. And credit to Maryland's ride. It's something that is very difficult to get through. But they've definitely done a better job, a notable job in this second half to make sure that they get the ball safely across their own 30.
And, you mentioned that being slippery there on the other end. It was raining pretty heavily pre-game heading into the game. And have you noticed the environment take much of a factor in this one? It's looked pretty dry out there so far.
Definitely has looked dry. You could tell in those moments where, especially playing on a grass field like this, you could tell in those moments where it looks almost like an uncharacteristic fall or
right.
Wasn't necessarily contact there. So more so just slippage, which you can tell there was some rain on the East Coast today.
Mm-hmm.
Just glad everyone's staying safe out there.
So far it's looked, they've been able to play without too much hindrance from the environment today. But like you said, every so often they'll have a moment or two where you can see it play in. So now we'll set up for another free position shot. Chance for the Tribe to get another point on the board. With 9 minutes to go, rushing forward, the sidearm shot goes through. Nice spot to make it 5-18 as William and Mary gets another one on the board. This is a free position.
Justice Barber on that free position opportunity there. You see she's going to quickly get off the line, and she drops her stick low to avoid that stick contact. And then instead of rising it high, she keeps it low, and is able to go for that low-to-low shot that a lot of goalies a lot of times don't expect because they see so many low-to-high sidearm rips. So that's a nice shot there for Justice Barber for her first of the day.
What about your preference, Kylie? What do you think was stronger? Going high to low or low to high. What do you really like to go for when you were shooting goals?
The prettier option is the low to high, but
right.
Many of my goalie friends have studied my play for years to come. So I'm trying to add the low to low into my game a little bit more often and evolve as we go, because our goalies are getting great and they're getting really talented and they can read our shots. So a great job there by Justice Barber to be able to add that deceptive play into her shooting game.
Yeah, got to start coming up with different ways to get it past these goalies. The more talented that they get, the more information and things like that. Uh, Certainly a way to develop the game, as here we've got Maryland with another chance here on the attack. 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of play. And you see them cede a little bit more possession time to William and Mary as this game has gone along, but this was a familiar sight, especially in the first half, and Maryland racked up the majority of their goals here today. And now in an 18-5 game, a 13-goal lead for them with 7 minutes to go.
I've been impressed with William and Mary's one-on-one on-ball defense here. See Maryland trying to throw some two-player game into the mix and some picks and some rolls. And they've been really successful on offense when they look to drive and pass out of it.
And that shot down the middle goes right through in the upper right-hand corner of the net. And that's another one for Maryland. That's their 19th goal of the day. It's 19-5.
Jalen Rosga on the score, right off of the cut, making sure that she's got her stick up right off of her cut here. And again, off of the drive, necessarily looking to drive to the cage, but then stepping back and realizing that her teammate Jalen is wide open there. And again, another deceptive finish there by number 22 in black. Able to kind of fake across field to the stick side corner and then put it closely to that near side pipe, finishing to that top corner. Rosga's a great additional player for the Maryland Terps. She comes from Minnesota. She's a player I know very well, and I'm very happy for her coming off of some injuries from last year.
It's very tough. You come off a big injury or a multitude of them, and what does that say about an athlete's mentality, right? When you spend some time on the shelf and then have to come back the next year, and the way that they develop and sort of get back into the game.
Yeah, it's unfortunately something we see so often in sports, right? And I think that due to that commonality of injuries in sports, we see a lot of inspiration come from that too. And I know in speaking to Jalen and other players like herself who have gone through big injuries, the motivation from her teammates to get back on the field and the motivation to be back in these playing scenarios, it definitely helps when it comes to those days you're sidelined or those days that you can't quite physically attribute to the game, but you definitely can as a teammate. So it all makes it worth it, the hard days when you're back out on the field.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It really helps bond you with your teammates, right? The support that you get from them during that period of time where you can't be out on the field with them, and that's important too for developing the relationships and the chemistry between players as well.
Absolutely. It makes you realize that your role on a team doesn't necessarily always have to be the way that you can play lacrosse or the physical aspects you can bring to the game, but also those aspects as a teammate that you can bring to. So we see a little crease violation on the inside roll there.
With Maryland trying to make a bid for the 20th goal of the day, instead the violation brings it back. As now they'll try and get another chance streaking forward, and that one is going to go through. So a quick reversal of field as they get back in, and this one is going to count. It's 20-5.
Another one there for Jalen Rosga. Coming in, utilizing her speed, making sure her stick's protected. And again, we've talked about this all game, but that ability to not just shoot the first opportunity they get when they see across the cage, especially when they get those in-tight shots, but their ability to see that extra fake and make sure that they move the goalie off their position before they put the ball into the back of the net. Really impressive.
Yeah, and really their entire play in this game has been impressive from this one. They've gotten to 20 goals. Remember, they scored 22 on them last year. And leading into this timeout, as the teams will talk things over, they've got a big lead. It's 20-5. Back out of the timeout here towards the end of quarter number 4. 3:34 on the clock here in a 20-5 game as the number 9 ranked Maryland Terrapins, 4-1, looking for their 5th win of the season, have scored 20 here with about 3.5 to go, and they're on the road against this William and Mary team that's 3-3, in danger of dropping to 3-4 on the campaign. And we'll see what they can do on this possession here to try and bite into that deficit with about 3 and change to go. The spin, and that one's going to hit the top post and bounce all the way out, where it's going to be chased down and go Maryland ball.
Nice quick take there, just kind of attacking right off of the draw was William and Mary. It's an unlucky shot there off the crossbar. It'll give Maryland the opportunity to kind of utilize likely this entire shot clock here, getting the ball around, looking for the right opportunity, if any.
Yeah, at this point, it's hold on as long as possible, and maybe you get a nice look to try and extend the lead. But at this point, it's just get this clock down here with about 2.5 to go and a minute on the shot clock. Maryland passing around. Now it's in the corner. Racing out in front, trying to get a look in front of the net. And another pass back.
Been impressed with defender on William and Mary, Jalen Locke, so far today. Her one-on-one defense has been locked down. She's had a lot of great looks at some back checks or some caused turnovers. That goal where she went end-to-end earlier on was really impressive.
So Maryland will go on to play in just a few days James Madison, and right now ranked number 2. So a huge matchup for them coming up, and that they're going to have to prepare for.
Absolutely. We're seeing Victoria Hench here on the free position opportunity and another save.
So good job to save it there, as that keeps the game at 20-5 here with about a minute and a half to go. .1:15 on the clock in a 20-5 game. More passing around the perimeter. This one dropped but chased back down. A minute and change left on the shot clock as well. Trying to find an edge. This one's dropped. Scramble in front of the net, and Maryland comes up with it again. And that's really just been, pretty much what they've been doing all game, which is just keeping possession of the ball and forcing some turnovers at good points, and they've just been in control. 20-5 is the score. Final 30 or so seconds left on the clock.
We've seen a few goalie changes from Maryland as well. We saw Julia Hammerschlag get some time and a few saves earlier on in this fourth quarter, and back there now is Carly Peterson with that last save and clear.
Final 15 seconds of this one. 20-5 is the score. A long pass forward. It's going to roll around in free space, and it's going to be picked up by William and Mary. Trying to get one last lick in before the end of this one, as that's toward the net and caught, and time will expire as this one comes to an end. 20-5 is the score. Maryland with a big 15-goal win as they take down William and Mary here at the end of this.